this? Merging, selling, and even just folding up other companies?
The government will achieve a lot if it is implemented properly.
Yeah.
Because
you've said properly.
Properly.
Okay.
Implementation is key here because on paper we see that it's going to bring results. Because some of these parastatals, even some of them that were not included in that list for now, we know that they have been draining taxpayers' money. We need that money to be put to other uses. So the government will, if they do this well, they are going to save quite some bit of money that will be put elsewhere. Also, they will improve efficiency because state corporations exist to provide services, not necessarily to make profit, to provide services, which many of them have not been able to do. So if the merger of these, some of them, and the discarding of others is going to improve government efficiency, that is something that is welcome, and it is possible if it is done well.
Okay. So you've said it is possible when if it's done well. Yes. I want to move into a different topic, Kareithi. Mm-hmm. And let me start with this man next to me. Uhuru Muigai, son of Kenyatta, the other day was in a barrio and he said that even Ngina should join these Gen Zs and stand for their rights. For their rights, yes. Because this country needs people to take care of their nation. Yes. If you are privatizing company, let the Gen Zs have a say in them.
Okay, what I made from Uhuru's remarks is that we were duped to believe that there was some kind of political partnership between him and President William Ruto.
But they were smiling when they were at Ishaweli.
Praying to the gallery. They were just doing it for camera. And the fact that the two issued separate statements, contradicting statements, because one of them was telling us that they have agreed to be working together because of the better of this country, for the good of this country. They also said that they have talked about Raila Odinga's AUC chairmanship bid. But when things became hot in social media, who released a statement. He said that some of the things they talked about with Ruto included having a robust opposition. And he also talked about the government not being so hard on their critics. That tells you that these people were not actually reading from the same page. And we also have people, if you read yesterday's Standard, you see that some of people who may be in the know say that the meeting was convened because of different purposes. But because of creating a perception that although I have lost Gachagua, I have gained Uhuru. Remember, these two come from Mount Kenya. Because of creating that perception, there are claims that the president, unfortunately, could be trying to create a narrative that Uhuru is also part of the broad-based. I heard you call it bread-based the other day, but I call it broad-based because I think
I think it's bread-based.
It's broad-based because the president has good intentions. Yes. So that war of words, exchange of words between the president and now the former president and President Ruto tells you that these people did not agree on anything. One is talking about urging the youth and even his daughter to join the Gen Z movement. The other is calling out the former president, telling him that you need not to incite the youth. In fact, you are to blame because you did not equip the youth. These exchanges show that either media, as media we were duped. You remember, I talked about in the other podcast, we were calling them Uhuru's men. Yes. And I deconstructed that statement and say these people who are given these positions are not Uhuru's men. Yeah. And I say that Kafogo is part and parcel of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Remember, he's a principal. Yes. Then this other guy, Ricky Nyajui, although he was in Azimio, he has his party, political party. Yeah. But probably they were given these positions to create a perception and narrative that you see these sons of Mount Kenya have been brought in this government
Yes.
thanks to Uhuru. But if that was the case, and remember when Uhuru talked about those issues, it was the day that these people were being sworn in.
Yes.
Was Uhuru trying to say I don't have a hand
In this.
in these
guys.
people?
So, are you trying to say, and I'll push it to Njogu, is Uhuru Kenyatta grinding an axe with the president, or is it for the show? Is it that they're together, that they want to show the Mount Kenya, to pacify Mount Kenya, that I'm not with this man?
Politicians, they say they are no permanent enemies.
Yes.
The fact that Uhuru entertained Ruto at his home in
Yes.
Gatundu,
Yes.
not even in Nairobi or some
Ishaweri,
restaurant
yes.
somewhere.
Ishaweri.
Yes.
Yes.
You open your gate
Yes.
and door to someone.
Yeah.
Obviously, that means you want to hear what this man has to say, or you have something to tell him.
Yeah.
So there's something that they discussed, which they did not tell us.
Yeah.
So over time will tell. But I think it's for sure. My opinion is that this is just for sure. These people
Yes.
are together. They were together for 10 years. They were together for 10 years.
You're trying to say they're just conning us.
They are conning us.
They
are conning us.
Njogu has said these two men are conning us.
All politicians are con men. And in fact,
Yes.
if you have been listening keenly,
Yes.
you may get your answer from what Gachagua said. And that is how all politicians operate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Gachagua is a truthful man. He says
But he's a
he is.
truthful man.
Even if he is.
Him
he
is
said-
men, truthful men.
He said
Yes.
that he was being given a script to go and read, and then it will be used to hammer him.
Yes.
Politicians may say this when they mean the opposite. When those two men met,
Yes.
only heaven knows why they met, what they discussed,
Yes.
and why they said what they said.
Mm.
And I'll go back to what Njogu has said. Who knows? Even the fact that Ruto is the president
Yes.
could have been manufactured by the two, pretending to be enemies, embracing somebody else, that
Yeah.
is Raila,
Yeah.
so that you can drive the critical masses to see things the way you want to see them, not the way they are.
Yeah.
How do you explain
Mm.
that at a time, I'm now coming to Raila, at a time the country was almost going up in flames,
Yes.
agitating for his Raila Odinga's stolen election. He was busy negotiating with
Yes.
the man
Who has stolen?
he is supposed to be ousting in the streets. That they could actually sit down
Yes.
and hammer a deal when the tear gas plumes
Yes.
wafting all over the cities.
Yes.
Tells you that what you see is not what you get, and what you get is not what you have seen. They have got the capacity to manufacture narratives, do all manner of things, and still come out and pretend to be friends or enemies for the benefit of the gullible voter out there.
So is Gachagua the beneficiary of this big fallout with Uhuru, and Uhuru has come clearly, by the way, saying that the Gen Z should stand up?
Uhuru, all his life, had an opportunity to strike a blow for the youth.
Yeah?
He always had an opportunity as a deputy prime minister, as a minister, as a president for 10 years. Was that evident during his time? Did